Good morning. If you'll have a seat, we'll get started. That is a bright light. So it's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce the governor of the state of West Virginia. It's a great day for West Virginia, the governor, Jim Justice. Governor?
Well, we have another incredible announcement to bring to you today. And I want to read a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But I want to tell you just a lot of the words that I just said over in the economic development meeting. You know, we've worked really hard in this state, and all of us. And we have brought a situation, or we created a situation now to where we've had dollars to be able to go out and genuinely make a real live effort to compete against the whole world, or surely all other states, to bring goodness to West Virginia. Now, along the way, and I just got through saying this just a few minutes ago, along the way, we're going to have something that may just not absolutely, come to our wildest expectations and greatest dreams. You'll never bat 1,000. You always have depended on me to give you the straight skinny, to speak to you just down to earth. This that we're talking on about today is cutting edge, an opportunity beyond belief. We're going to put X number of dollars in the scope of things. They are only just a small token of dollars. If we were a state today, and I just got through saying exactly this, and we didn't have a pot to pee in. And literally, that's not the case today. If we were that and we had 5 Taco Bells that we wanted to open, and they're going to bring the potential of this level of opportunity to us, and that's all we had, well, we'd take that, wouldn't we? But we're a state today that's on the move. A state today that's looking for opportunities that may be this big. I can't promise you in any way that every single button we push will be the absolute key to Emerald City. But I can promise you this, that we're going to be wise in what we do. We're not going to endanger our environment. We're not going to endanger our way of life. Absolutely, with all in us, we want more and more goodness and opportunity to come to us, do we not? Yeah, I said this just a little while ago, but the other day, and my back was all fired up and everything, and I was at WVU with the greatest docs on the planet, and they said, we really need to inject 3 sites on you. One is your hip, We'll inject your hip and see if this pain goes away. If it doesn't, then we'll inject your SI joint and see if this pain goes away. And if it doesn't do that, we'll have to inject, towards your back. All 3 of them, no big deal. The doctors looked at me and said, now we got to tell you this because we always have to tell everybody this, but about 1 in 20,000 people have some adverse reaction, and you need to know that. This is not that there is no risk in anything. In life, again, you depend on me. You depend on me, and you've depended on me for now right at 7 years to tell you and guide you and tell you the safest and best and the biggest hope that we could come up with, and we've done that. It won't always be perfect. But with this and everything, there is opportunity here like nobody's business. So with all that being said, I'm going to read now just a little bit. I'm going to say to you that today, and I am very proud to announce that Fidelis New Energy has selected Mason County, West Virginia for a hydrogen production facility and microgrid. They are going to invest over time $2 billion and employ up to 800 workers when fully operational. They will be the largest natural gas user in our state when they're up and running. The power they generate will be used to power data centers and make West Virginia the absolute best place on the East Coast for technology investment. Now you can really clap. And now let me introduce a gentleman that I just spoke with right back here. His name is Dan Shapiro. He's from Houston, Texas, and he's the CEO of Fidelis. And Dan, if you'll talk to us, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, everybody, thank you very much, Governor. I'd like for Pete to speak very quickly on CCS, and we always start everything that we do with a brief safety moment because safety is absolutely critical to everything that we do in construction as well as in our projects. So, Pete.
Good morning. My name is Pete Hollis, and I lead Fidelis's carbon capture and sequestration business. As a general theme for today, you'll hear that we are extremely thankful for the support that's been provided by the state of West Virginia and the leadership of the governor as we have developed the Mountaineer Gigasystem. Very few states have put forth such a forward-thinking, business-focused mindset that allows us to develop these types of projects. From the beginning, we knew this day was coming, and we were very excited. Now we move from project development into the exciting part of detailed engineering on the facility and the subsurface exploration that really allows us to underpin the carbon capture and sequestration that's critical for this project. The Mountaineer Gigasystem will initially be planned as a $2 billion build-out of the hydrogen production facilities, and it will be the largest hydrogen production facility in the region. Given the size of the project, we can build that out fourfold in investment and employ up to 800 people in just the hydrogen production facility. Critical to this project is the carbon capture and sequestration component. And at Fidelis, we only utilize proven, commercially proven technologies within our developments. This includes technologies, techniques, and procedures that support the safe and permanent sequestration of CO2 in deep sandstones and dolomites that are prevalent throughout West Virginia. And these will not interfere or impact any of the drinking water or existing oil and gas production. Prior to any injection of CO2, it's important to know that we go through a very rigorous permitting process that will require approval from the US EPA, West Virginia Department of Natural Resources, West Virginia Geological and Economic Survey, and the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection. Not an ounce of CO2 can be injected until we've gone through this process and show that it is safe and reliable. Over the next few weeks, there will be several more exciting announcements as we continue to progress the development of the project, and we are committed to the long-term success of this project and the state of West Virginia. I'm now going to hand it over to Dan Shapiro, our CEO, who's going to go through some talking points as well.
Thank you, Pete. And thank you again, Governor Justice, for those kind words. I am thrilled to join you and many others here in your administration and the people of West Virginia in announcing these two very exciting and ambitious projects. Thank you to the great people of West Virginia who have worked hard, diligently, smart, and creatively with us to position West Virginia, the Mountaineer Gigasystem, and the Monarch Cloud Campus, all in Mason County, for success. All in. I hear that word, those two words, a lot in West Virginia and in our offices. We are all in. And when I hear the words all in to me and to my company, and I think the folks in West Virginia, it means all of the above. First all in story I have is General Hoyer. My former commander Glenn Curtis, who was the Adjutant General of Louisiana and is on our advisory board, told me that I needed to add General Jim Hoyer to our advisory board. And so we had a call with General Hoyer. Within 5 minutes, I knew that General Hoyer was all in West Virginia, committed. He would not have anything to do with us, he said, unless we look hard at bringing our technology here and our projects. And from that, he introduced us to the administration and others, and was just committed to what we're doing. From the earliest days, West Virginia has been all in to power and supply energy to the United States. The Mountain State powered us through wars, industrial development, the birth of modern chemistry that changed the course of human history and standard of living for people around the world. And now the words again, all in, also mean all of the above energy, for energy security as well as ways to supply energy that we need, and using existing resources that also lower CO2 emissions. We have vast resources in West Virginia and in this country of dense energy that needs to be harnessed and serve as inputs. But there are technologies that are proven, including some I'm going to cover with you today, to harness that energy while at the same time reducing the CO2 emissions. New, novel technologies that integrate existing, proven technologies at commercial scale are available without first-of-a-kind risk. These technologies can verifiably result in CO2 neutral energy from all of the above. Energy transition and energy security with net zero life cycle emissions is possible and should not be burdened by biased dogma. We are bringing several of those technologies to West Virginia at both Mountaineer and at Monarch. One of the technologies is Fidelis H2 for clean hydrogen, which is the centerpiece for Mountaineer, and is brought through our global alliance with Haldor Topsoe out of Denmark, which is the world-leading technology provider for hydrogen in the world. And they're here with us. And Babcock & Wilcox, also represented here, is part of that alliance to deploy our Fidelis H2 technology. The second technology is H2 Power Cool. This uses the hydrogen from Fidelis H2 to power and cool data centers in a cost-efficient manner and allow the cloud, or these data centers, to be net zero CO2. The third technology that we're bringing, and all of these are patent filing that we have, is CO2 Power Grow. So what we do with our waste heat, we have a lot of residual waste heat through the process, and we have captured CO2. You can use both of those waste streams to power low-cost, high-impact, turbocharged industrial greenhouses, state-of-the-art, at our sites. We are also pleased to announce today that, and this is new news, that last night we finalized our letter of intent with Babcock & Wilcox to evaluate putting their Bright Loop technology at the North Point Pleasant site for Mountaineer. That's an additional $650 million potential investment. And why do they want to do that? Why are they interested? One, we have an alliance with Babcock & Wilcox. They are committed to West Virginia. And the third reason is the work that we're doing on CCS is absolutely critical for their project. And so proving out the CCS in the state will attract more industries like what we're doing in Babcock & Wilcox and others. So, as Pete said, the geology of West Virginia is very unique, and it's served our nation for a long time very well. The geology of West Virginia is also unique in a new way, is it can store CO2. And that is a significant differentiator for any state that has geology that can store CO2 because it's an enabler for projects and for energy that basically can take the CO2 out of existing resources and put it downhole. So Mountaineer, as I mentioned, world-scale hydrogen production facility. We are one of the largest production facilities or projects in the Appalachia Regional Clean Hydrogen Hub, ARCH2. We've been working closely with Battelle and West Virginia on that project. The application was submitted to receive one of the hubs from DOE that was submitted a month ago. West Virginia also stands out as an all-in, regardless of political contest, when it comes to the good of West Virginia. We have experienced a substantial alignment around investment and economic impact across every West Virginian that we've met. When it comes to the centerpiece of what's, as the governor said, bringing goodness to West Virginia, there is, to us, an alignment of all the good people. Finally, I won't get all the thank yous in here, so if I fail to mention a name who worked on this, because there were lots of people who worked on getting here, I will apologize, and please talk to me afterward, and I'll do it in person. President Blair, for the leadership in the Senate, and Speaker Roger Hanshaw, working with, under the governor's leadership to set the groundwork for CCS in West Virginia. Establishing the legal framework for CCS is the first foundational piece to be able to have financeable projects that depend on CCS. Mike Graney, for the vision that you had and the hard work that you did, detailed work, diligent work, hard questions, working creatively, very entrepreneurial approach to economic development. Thank you. All the hard work of Todd Hooker and the rest of the folks in economic development, unbelievable experience having done this for over 20 years with state economic development departments. Secretary Carmichael, for your support and hard work. First time I've ever sang Country Roads at a steakhouse was with Mitch. That was great. Secretary Bailey, for attention to detail, leadership, and an incredible amount of work, and several hours, including this morning for about 2 hours. Brian Abraham, Berkeley Garner, Jessica Moore, John Musgrave, the whole West Virginia team has been phenomenal, Governor. So I want to thank you for the support. And now we have a large, ambitious project to get done, and we are all in. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let me conclude by just, again, thanking these incredible gentlemen, thanking you for your confidence in us that we're going to make the right decisions and we're going to move forward as best we possibly can. We're going to move forward in a way that is absolutely environmentally sound, first and foremost, and safe in every way, just as they spoke. And then, after all the blessings are done, and we're absolutely environmentally sound and the blessings are all in place, we're going to bring more and more and more goodness and opportunity to West Virginia, but more and more goodness and opportunity to the whole world with what we do right here in little old West Virginia. Now just think about this. Think about how things are changing in Mason County. You know, when I was at Marshall University, and it was a few years back, you know, and I used to go right up to a little community called Ashton, right in Mason County. There was a fellow there, his name was Chris Hughes, and I bird hunted with him over and over and over and over. Many days I probably should have been in class, and I was bird hunting with Chris Hughes. But oh, how that beautiful, wonderful county is changing. It will still always be a beautiful, wonderful county. On our watch, we have got to ensure exactly that. But with all that said, too, while many, many folks thought maybe just never will there be opportunities here in our little, beautiful, wonderful county to where our kids won't have to end up in Atlanta and Denver and Charlotte and all over the world. And Aunt Edith wants to have that picnic that I've speak of many times. And she can't have it because the kids can't come. And all she wanted to see is her grandkids too. You know, our families went everywhere. We are making good decisions in West Virginia, and the opportunity's coming, and it just keeps coming. And that's exactly what we want to do. So God bless each and every one of you. Godspeed to these great men and all that they're doing and all the goodness that they're bringing to the state. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank all of you. Okay, now y'all go do something else good.